Okay, just great weekend. It was pretty weather, and boy, our fans just really turned out. We appreciate all the support. I had a record crowd, so our game day atmosphere was fantastic. I think Saturday, I think everybody had to leave here, pleased with what they saw. Our players on the field played really well, and played hard and got the W. And then our halftime show was great with the Southerners, and so everybody did a great job. Our game day operations, takes a lot into putting a game day on. We appreciate all those people that make that happen for us as well. And we beat a good football team. Tennessee State, hung in there with us. It was a touchdown game in the third quarter, and we was able to come back and respond from that, and take the game in the fourth quarter and get it out of reach. But overall, just hard hitting football game, physical football game. Very pleased with our guys, and like I said, just excited about our crowd, and just hope they continue to come back. And sports like that, it makes a difference. Our guys, you come out of that dressing room and you see all that red out there, and it kind of energizes you. And the crowd wasn't a quiet crowd; they really got into it, and it was a loud crowd, and it was really place was rocking on Saturday. So it was a lot of fun for sure. Let's open it up for questions now.
Coach Cross, I know sometimes when we talk about tempo offenses, we tend to think of teams that throw the ball a lot, but you guys use a tempo offense to run the ball exceptionally well like you did Saturday. Could you talk about just what your philosophy is of running the ball and why you guys have always been so successful in doing it?
Well, we do feel like it, starts up front. It's your ability to run the football and your ability to stop the run defensively. I think that controls the game. Goes back to the old saying, controlling the line of scrimmage. We believe in that. But offensively, the philosophy is, snap it as fast as we can snap it. And hopefully lead the country in snaps. But we want to be a balanced attack. We want to be able to run it when we want to run it, and throw it when we want to throw it. We talk about that a lot, don't we, Adam? I mean, we want to be able to do what we want to do and not have the defense dictate to us. Because anytime, we talk about that a lot defensively, and Joel can tell you that. Anytime you can make an offense one-dimensional, you got them, whether it be, if you can make them have to run the football, or if you make them have to throw the football, you got them. So offensively, we want to be able to do, both equally well, and but running is something that we want to do. I think we had almost 350 yards of rushing on 52 carries. So we're going to have anywhere from 40 to 60 carries in a game. If we snap it 85 to 95 times, which is where we want to be, somewhere around that 90 mark, we're going to rush it, probably around 50, somewhere in that number. But it leaves you with, that's what I tell the receivers all the time. Heck, guys, it's not like we're not throwing the ball 30 to 40 times in the game too. So we throw it because we snap it so many times. Not like we're running it 50 times and throwing it a dozen. So I think you just got to be balanced in your attack, and a little bit unpredictable of what you're going to do down and distance wise, because such a big part of it is your tendencies of what you do on second and long. What's your tendency there, and what's your tendencies on third down. So it's such a crucial part of the game.
Adam, could you talk a little bit about that, about what you see as a lineman of why you guys are so successful running the ball?
A lot of the credit goes to our backs. We have phenomenal backs, and we have an amazing quarterback, of course. And I think one big key is how the offensive line, we're all in sync with each other. We're all really good friends. We always know what each other's thinking. We know the speed that we play at. So, if somebody next to me, I know how they're going to step, and opposed to someone else. So a backup guy comes in, I know how he's going to step. It's pretty much all one fine machine working as one.
Joel, I know you're on defense, but I saw you smiling a little bit when Adam was talking about. Again, you're not out there with the offense, but maybe even just what you see in practice and what you see on the sideline during a game of how they run the ball.
Yeah, I can really attest to it. They run the ball very well. I have to practice with those guys every day, and even going off to other schools, I really say that we have probably the best O-line ever that I've ever seen. They're strong, physical, and they do play as a unit. When you meet one of them in the hole, you're going to meet all of them. And they block extremely well. Pass, run, and you never get tendencies off of them.
And those guys have been playing together for a while too. You know, like I said, I think Adam talks about the, you know, they're, you know, our whole football team's like that. They just got a, you know, tight knit bunch. They hang out a lot together outside the game and outside of practice, and times that they're together here. You know, and they've been playing together. I think they know which way each other's going to step, like Adam was talking about. It's good to have that continuity up front, and they're a physical bunch for sure.
How important is that, Coach? Because on that offensive side of the ball, everybody, you don't really have new guys on. I mean, so they're all guys that, not just guys that were here last year, but a lot of them have been here for the whole 3 years that you've been.
Really have. I mean, we've lost very few guys, you know, and you lost 2 last year, Max Holcomb and, you know, and heavy, of course, Marcus James. But, you know, these guys that we're playing right now, there's very few newcomers. They've all been in the battles. You know, they know what to do. They know what call to expect, and know how. They have a lot of confidence. I mean, I think, you know, just with having veteran guys, there's a confidence that we have of, you know, that we're going to move the football and we're going to get the football in the end zone and be able to, you know, score points. So I think it's just like your staff and your players. Anytime that you keep continuity and you have a mature football team that's, you know, been through the battles, it's a positive, that's for sure.
Just Ruben's emergence. I mean, 2 straight 100-yard games. He knew he could do some stuff, but just kind of how he's grown into a really good role for this team.
Boy, he really has. I mean, he's come on. He kind of, you know, had to catch up a little bit last year, and being the new guy, and he's just settled in, and he's comfortable. You know, he pressed a lot. You know, I felt like as a coach, I felt like he pressed a lot last year, trying to make the big play and trying to do something, you know, kind of over his head. You know, he's just settled in, and he's making plays, and, you know, he's doing everything well. He's blocking well. He's taking the fast screen, getting upfield with it. You know, running great routes when he's not going to get the ball. All the things that you want a receiver to do, you know, he's doing now. And the game is the way we coach our guys. The game will come to you. You just do your job, do what you're supposed to. Enough of the game will come to you eventually. So I think that's what he's settled into, and he's matured, and, you know, just doing a really, really good job for us right now.
You talked about like the running and the pace, but when you have guys like Josh and Ruben out there, it almost makes it a lot easier because you cannot load the box and stop that.
Well, it is, and if we can continue not to let people put 8, 9 in the box against us, you know, when you know, one-on-one, you know, Ruben or Josh on the outside, and, you know, and some of those guys that we've got, it's when we got matchups outside, it makes it tough on those guys not to keep a safety over the top or keep somebody underneath. It's an overhang guy, so it's an advantage for sure.
People talk about the defense. I have to start with the defensive line, but this guy's been making a lot happen. Just talk about what he's brought to you this year.
Well, Joel's he's just so consistent. I mean, I think that's the word I would use. And that's is steadily, you know, watch him grow in the spring and just continually get better through the summer and fall camp. And, you know, he's determined to learn the defense, know the defense, and that's made him better. He challenges himself as good as any player that I've been around, you know, as far as he's hard on himself. He grades himself every day, and, you know, it means something to him. And I think that's where his improvement has come from. And, you know, we knew he had ability, and yeah, he's just fit right in with our guys. And he'll tell you too, just kind of like what, you know, Adam talked about. We have a selfless football team, just like Adam talking about our running backs. And I think Joel will tell you it's a kind of a pleasure. It's a linebacker's dream to play behind the front that we have defensively, and it makes their job a little bit easier. But, you know, Joel has just, like I said, consistently gotten better, and I don't think you've seen him, you know, plateau off or level out. He's going to continually get better in what he's doing. So he's a very coachable guy, and just both of these guys, just great representations of our program and what we want to be represented off the field, in the classroom, you know, just in the things that they're accomplishing day in, day out. Martin is always very well coached. It's kind of hard to tell. You know, they're going to be really good. I mean, they've played 2 games, and I'm sure they got some questions about their football team of, you know, where they're at. They played 1 game against Ole Miss, didn't fare too well against Ole Miss, which Ole Miss beat Alabama the other night. I mean, Ole Miss is really, really good, you know, so it's kind of hard to get anything from that game. And then in game 2, they won by 70. So it's kind of hard to tell, you know, where they're at. We're just taking in, you know, looking at personnel tell from last year that's there this year, the new talent that they've added in. Coach Simpson and his staff, recruit very well. They're always going to have players, so they'll have speed, they'll have size, all those things. They got their quarterback back, they got a running back back, they got some receivers back, so they'll be, have a great plan offensively. I thought last year they had as good a plan offensively against us as anybody that we played. So they'll scheme us up, and they'll have some things to try and convert third downs and stay on the field offensively. And defensively, they're a blitz team. They're a stacked team, and they're gonna come after you with pressure, and that allows matchups on the outside, 1-on-1, and things like that. So it'll be interesting to see how what their game plan is defensively. But it's always hard to go there and play. I remember 2 years ago when we had to go up there, our back was kind of against the wall. We'd lost the overtime game against Murray. It was a do or die game. You hate to say a game's do or die, but it was a do or die deal for us conference-wise and making the playoffs. And our team went up there and responded and played really, really well and beat a really good football team. Well, it'll be no different this time. I mean, they'll have a really good football team. They'll be ready to play. They'll have a good fan base there, and it's like I said, it's a long trip, so we'll have to travel well and and play well on the road to have a chance to win.
Yep. For the two players on Sundays, do you guys watch NFL games?
Yes.
When you do you watch this as a fan, or do you find yourself watching the guy who plays your position, or just how do you watch it?
Well, I guess it depends on who's playing. If I see like one of my favorite players, Aaron Rodgers, play, I'm gonna watch Aaron Rodgers. And but most of the time, I'll find myself looking at the offensive line, almost like his film, especially if the guy has my number. But yeah, I love watching football and watching the pros. And as I gotten older, stopped looking at it so much like a fan and almost like a player, and try to gain some experience from it.
Yeah, just to piggyback off what he said, as a player, you never watch it as a fan anymore. It kind of dies out, and you begin to watch your position and watch what is he doing that I can do to get to his level.